I am Clint Hardy. I'm the Daviess County Extension Agent for Agriculture in Daviess County for the UK Cooperative Extension Service. Today we're out on the farm of Pat, Philip, and Joe Thompson in far west Daviess County. We're right here at the edge of the banks of the Green River. So if you look at a map, and we're about halfway between Curdsville and Delaware, so a lot of people haven't been to Delaware before. But they're gracious enough to host one of our several multiple location county variety demonstration plots. So what we're doing today is planting soybeans. We've got a committee of farmers. The Thompsons are included on that committee that are gracious enough to host us, allow us to come out to their farms. We work with partnering seed companies. They provide the seed that they think will do well in Daviess County, and we do, myself and my colleague Troy Muse with Kentucky Community Technical College System Young Farmer Program, we work together to conduct these plots throughout Daviess County. This is a no-till farm. They've sprayed this ground with a herbicide to kill the vegetation, and they're planting into it without disturbing the soil surface. They're planting soybeans, 7.5-inch rows. The equipment they're using, they plant soybeans and their wheat crop with. It's not been an unusual spring. I mean, we had a nice spell in about 3 weeks in March that did dry out and warmed up, and people were able to get a lot of work done. A lot of ground was sprayed, some fertilizer applied, and then it rained there at the end of March, and it continued throughout nearly the entire month of April. So, you know, that kind of challenged us a little bit from the standpoint that everybody was on point, ready to go, but the weather was wet and cold and kind of preventing things from occurring for us. But then last week, we've missed a couple of rains that were predicted, and we've been very fortunate. This now is in the first full week of May, and by the end of the week, I expect half the corn in Daviess County will be planted, probably half the soybeans. We're very fortunate. We're equipped in this county. Farms are equipped to plant their crop in 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, outlook now is too early. You know, you can watch the weather predictions and things, but I know what we have right now is soil moisture, and that's always good to begin the year with soil moisture. The last disaster that we had was 2012, and April and May were as dry as August. So we've got soil moisture, and so that's a great start for the crops that we grow. The wheat harvest, the wheat's maturing right now and flowering, and this hot, dry weather this week is great for the wheat crop. So it has promising yield potential. We can predict that right now if nothing happens to it, weather related between now and June. Do expect a very good wheat harvest in Daviess County. And the crop mix for this year is the input costs have really increased. You know, a lot of supply and demand things. A lot of our fertility, or the fertilizers we use, are petroleum based with the nitrogens. We had natural gas to make nitrogen, plus the fuel expense and transportation of them. What I'm sharing is we've really had a decrease in our corn-soybean rotation. There's going to be less corn planted in Daviess County this year, more soybeans, simply due to the cost of production savings. The other thing that's continued to decrease in acreage in 2022 will be substantially less, will be our burley tobacco acreage. We expect probably 50% of the production that we had from a year ago. A lot of people chose to exit that industry, that enterprise. So, and with the wheat price, a lot of it's given the situation in Ukraine and Russia and the issues there. We're going to have a lot more wheat planted this fall than what we typically do. A lot of people have heard me say before, but if you calculate the planted acreage in Daviess County relative to the surface area, we're over 60% of the land surface in Daviess County. So we definitely have the biggest footprint on the surface of our county with agricultural production. It's, you know, given the typical yield trends we've been seeing and the harvest price right now that these farmers are expecting to receive for this crop they're planting this year, you know, we're probably looking at a $250 million gross revenue grain crop and $100 million revenue in livestock. Two things that are happening right now is there's a lot of equipment moving on the road. There is a lot of herbicide application, and so, you know, farmers are very cautious about monitoring wind speeds and things, but sometimes people can become confused about issues related to maybe plant vegetation problems in their landscape, what may have caused that. And so at the Extension office, we're able to help diagnose those problems. If it could be a herbicide drift related issue, it might be a plant disease problem. So just our office is located out on the community college campus, and People are welcome to call or stop by with plant-related questions or any type of questions for that matter.